Hello everyone, I'm Ferdi Salvador. Join us in unlocking the tricks of the trade here on Trade Talks. Let's get down to business. The Michelin Guide recently unveiled its Philippine selection, with 9 restaurants bagging the much-coveted Michelin Star. The first edition of the Michelin Guide in the Philippines features a total of 108 local establishments. Among them is Oak and Smoke Restaurant. Let's welcome to the program Chef Anna Bautista. She is one of the pillars of Oak and Smoke, and of course, she's also a chef patron there. Good morning, Chef Anna. Thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you, Ferdi.
And now I'm getting hungry because after the show it's lunch, so now I'm getting hungry.
Well, you need to come visit soon.
Absolutely. So, you know, a lot of people know all about Oak and Smoke, but it's turned out to be one of those secrets that everybody knows, right?
It's a good secret, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky to have patrons who've been spreading the word about us.
Because, you know, it's good food, great ambiance, and the guests always see you behind the kitchen and cooking up a storm. Now, let's go back first before I ask you about the guide questions,
Okay.
right? You are a Filipina, married to an American, and you've always worked in the West Coast in the U.S. Am I correct?
Yeah, so I left the Philippines in 1998, thinking I would pursue master's degree, but I ended up going to culinary school, and I stayed. You know, most of my career was in the U.S. and also in Shanghai, and this is actually my first time coming back to the Philippines. It happened during COVID, and I think it was by luck or it was meant to be. And I never left, or I had a hard time going back to Shanghai then because of the lockdown. And luckily, I was able to open a restaurant here. So Oak and Smoke really means a lot to me because it's kind of like my coming back to Manila.
Right, but did you feel like working in the U.S. and in Shanghai is easier than working in the Philippines?
I think yes and no. I mean, the kitchen has its own language.
Yes.
So cooking, everybody in the kitchen, you're there, you're a team. So it doesn't really matter what race you are, what country you're in. There's kind of this unspoken language that everybody is really dedicated to their craft.
Mm-hmm. But of course, the competition in the Philippines is quite tough, albeit that we don't have a lot of restaurants, but still it's a tough competition.
Yes, it is. And especially since, like I said, I was gone for a long time, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, right? So I was very nervous. Like, you know, I'm not really a young chef anymore. So would the people embrace me, or how would they view my food?
But okay. Talking about saying that you're no longer a young chef, you are an established chef. I think we should change the narrative of that. But of course, during the pandemic, you know, you and your husband, well, your husband retiring in the Philippines, and then you opening up a restaurant. Wasn't that such a big risk?
It was. I mean, we had our business in Shanghai. We had our consulting firm there. And then to just, you know, pull everything out. I mean, the end goal was always to come back home.
Yes.
Because my mom is here. This is home for me.
That's one of the reasons.
One of the reasons. But that was maybe, we were thinking another 5, another 10 years. And then COVID happened. And it's here. What do we do now, right? So we were separated for 2 years. We couldn't see each other. And then we just decided, well, let's just, you know, maybe now's the time to move back to the Philippines since, like I said, that was the end goal anyway, and let's just try to make it work.
Mm-hmm. When you decided to move here, what kind of restaurant did you want?
You know, I really wanted a very comfortable restaurant, not super fine dining, elevated, casual yet elevated, which I guess what Oak and Smoke turned out to be.
Is that a trend now in the dining scene?
I would possibly, because, you know, people want to be comfortable. I see, and I've been talking to a lot of people, there's always, you know, the need for fine dining establishments where you have the degustations and all that. But they become celebratory, right? So it's not something that you can just go back every week. Having a casual yet elegant environment gives you options. You can like pop in and just have, you know, a midweek bite. to catch up with some friends, or you can also make it a full celebration, like have your baptisms there, or doing your milestones, your 50th birthday and all that, and making it a bigger event.
Yeah, but you can also do degustation in a casual, crisp dining place.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah. But, I just want people to be able to come in there on their own time. Like,
Yes.
you can decide to, I want to end my meal now, or it's just kind of like having them have that freedom to be able to like decide
Yes.
the course of their meal.
I've actually dined at Oak and Smoke a few times, and I feel like it is still family style in a way.
It is, yes, yes.
Actually, it can be a hybrid. You can still call it crisp dining, but a family style, which is what Filipinos are used to.
Right,
You
right.
drop everything on the table.
Yes.
You grab each other's food, or even cross over and taste their
Right,
the food
right.
from their plate. Was this the intention
It
of
it
Oak and
is. It's
Smoke?
always been the intention, and that's kind of my style of cooking. I like you said, this is the Philippines way of eating, and you want to taste different things, right? You want to be able to like dictate how you're going to go about with your meal.
Right.
So having that family style, making it all so colorful on the table, giving you different options and different flavors, that's always been the goal for Oak and Smoke.
But did you think that, okay, wait a minute, the Philippines or the Manila or specifically the Salcedo restaurant scene need another restaurant that's focused on steak? Or the grill, rather.
Or the grill. I mean, everybody does it differently, right? Like for us, our grill, we do have the steaks and all that, but then we have other complementing dishes that have a lot of Asian flavors and touches to it. So that's kind of what makes it different. Steaks, people always love to eat, large cuts of meat, whether it be a pork chop or a lamb chop, but Filipinos love to make ihaw, right?
Yes.
So that I think incorporating that on the menu, having that option, making it feel like it's something special, there's always room for that. And even if you have a similar cuisine within like a stretch, the same street, I think it's good competition, and I think it just breeds creativeness between chefs as well.
You've been open for about a year and 4 months-ish.
Ish, yes.
Have you seen or noticed that your menu evolve into something different? For example, conforming to the taste buds of your clientele as opposed to your dream menu?
I always try to cook and listening to what the customers like, right? From the get-go, our portions have always been generous. So we've never really gotten any, comments regarding that. In terms of flavor, I really cook with robust flavors, having a lot of Chinese ingredients, like being familiar with that. I think that's also how Filipinos eat. Our palates are very
Savory.
savory. Like
we like big dishes.
Yes, we like big flavors.
Yes.
So I was very conscious when I designed the menu to have those big flavors on the dishes. So I don't think we've really changed much our direction. We're still on the right path. We do try to change the menu as often as possible, because for me, it's just one way for me to be also creative.
Yes.
And I do like, having our regulars come in and be like, oh, what can I try? What's new? Because that's always the question that we get.
Well, repetition breeds perfection. However, if it's repetitive, it becomes monotonous.
Yes.
So, of course, they have their favorites that come back for it, but then what? Right?
Yeah, we have like our favorites, and I think those are staples and become signatures, which you can never remove. But I mean, here and there during the week we'll have specials, or it's just exciting. It makes the job exciting for me as well.
Right. As I mentioned a while ago, you've worked in different culinary centers around the world, and it's easy, especially Michelin starred restaurants, right? Getting ingredients in those cities, Shanghai, in the US, it's easy.
Super easy.
So are you challenged in the Philippines wherein there's limited access to certain ingredients?
Yes, very challenged. But there are also a lot of ingredients, and there's still a lot more to be discovered that the Philippines can offer. It was like we would always say, because I came from California, and the produce there is,
Exceptional.
super exceptional.
Yeah.
So it was easy to cook. It was really easy to cook. Here, it's like you need to play around a little bit. How do you highlight things? And also Filipinos, like we said, like the robust flavors. Like, so how do you really incorporate that to these ingredients? So it has been challenging, but I think we've come a long way. Like when I remember 10 years ago when I, came here for a visit, there were not microgreens or anything to speak of, And then now, there's so many people that are growing them, more lettuces, varieties of lettuces and greens that are coming up that are being locally,
Yes.
cultured. So it's definitely gone a long way.
What about the labor culture between where you used to work and here? It's completely day and night.
Yes and no. I
Okay.
mean, in the States kasi, when you start there, everyone in the kitchen is gunning to become a chef.
Yeah.
So the competition was really, really tough. And especially being female, I remember getting, having people a little hostile with me because they're all like, it's still a male-dominated industry.
Because here the queen has arrived. Let's
It
get
took so long, but then now,
but
yes.
let's get back to that. We're gonna take a quick break. Trade Talks will be right back. Welcome back to Trade Talks. We'll continue our conversation with Chef Anna Bautista of the Michelin-recognized Oak and Smoke. So, Chef, before the break, I said the queen has arrived in the kitchen. Congratulations in your recognition with the Michelin Guide. How does it feel?
There's one word. It's overjoyed, actually. And, coming back from the awards and then bringing home the little plaque that comes with it and showing it to your staff, seeing them beam and excited to take pictures with it and be proud of it. You're just really overjoyed because it makes you feel like all the hard work that you've put into the restaurant and opening it, all the challenges of teaching all the staff, and it comes with you know how it is to run a restaurant. Blood, sweat, and tears. Yes. Yeah. So it's everybody was very, very happy, and to see my staff that you realize that they're also committed to the restaurant makes you feel very excited and inspired to continue on.
If I got that award, I would be sleeping beside it for weeks on end before I put it back in the restaurant. Did you sleep beside your award?
No, we brought it back. I mean, its home is at the restaurant. So we brought it immediately back to the restaurant so everybody can enjoy it.
Did you feel that you were going to get recognized?
No, because we've been open for, like I said, just a little over a year, right? And that wasn't, we knew, we heard that Michelin was coming.
Yes.
And it crossed my mind because, I came from a Michelin background, but that wasn't really kind of the focus or the direction why we were doing this, right? So to be recognized with my first restaurant here in the Philippines, it's really, it's really truly special.
Okay. You mentioned something important. What is the focus and direction of the restaurant aside from, not trying to attain for certain awards?
I just wanted, I want longevity for the restaurant, obviously, like any restaurant owner. And I just really want it to be a place where people come and, they feel special, the food is good. It's, like a neighborhood joint.
And do you now feel pressure since you got a nod?
Yes and no. I don't think things will really be different. I'm really strict in the kitchen, so that's not going to change. So
award or no award?
No award or no award.
The queen
I
still
think,
speaks.
at the end of the day, I'm my worst critic.
Right.
So I don't think things will really change much, or I just want to continue on. I want to obviously keep the recognition year in and year out. But no, I mean, the focus is still the same, and it's just providing good food, making people really feel comfortable at the space and enjoying it with us.
As of course, being in the guide and being recognized, there's certain categories: service, quality of food, taste of food, beverage selection, even the look of the staff. That's all
It's all one package.
one package, or it's mystified as that, right? If you're going to remove all of those categories and just deal with one dish that you think would have that you think pushed you to be part of the guide, what would it be on your menu?
One dish. Oh gosh. I think the signature right now is our grilled pork chop. Nothing really, I mean, people probably be like, what's so special about it? I think it's just that savoriness, that richness. It's cooked on the grill using sampalok wood, which is, a local wood. And we brine it. The pork comes from local farm here in the Philippines. And we try to incorporate flavors like charred grapes on it, and then also a lychee hoisin sauce. So there's that marriage of Asian flavors that come with the grill aspect.
But when you create these dishes, and it sounds very savory to me.
Yeah.
When you create these dishes, where do you pull from? Do you pull from your experience in California, Shanghai, or your mom's kitchen?
I think from California and Shanghai.
Okay.
Definitely from travels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any Filipino influences on your dishes?
Filipino influences, none yet. But I think we love to play with our sour and our fish sauce and
Yes.
all that. So those are ingredients that I use.
I was hoping you would say
I also
that-
use like shrimp paste and things like
Yeah.
that. So they're there,
Yes.
they're just in different forms.
I was hoping you would say, well, I am the Filipino flavor in the kitchen and the restaurant, because
And
you
the rest
are
is
Pinay.
international.
Yeah, and the rest are international. Since the success of Oak and Smoke has been quite rapid, do you want to open another branch?
Not now. I think we have to really stay focused on what we're doing. The team is still very young, so it's not like I could just let it go. There's still a lot of work to do, and I think Oak and Smoke still has, more stories to tell. So we're not rushing, and we just really want to, really kind of put our feet on the ground and let our roots grow, and just really be a good restaurant for the neighborhood.
Yes. What stories do you want to narrate through your food?
Through my food, just the travels. I want people to be able to taste, the flavors of the travels I've done, of places that I've worked for. California, bringing brightness to the dishes, simplicity to the dishes, and then Shanghai having those kind of really robust flavors from Chengdu, using Sichuan peppercorn and spicy bean paste and all those ingredients as well.
I will be remiss if I don't ask this question, but is there anything that deals with sustainability or the farm to establishment?
Yes, I mean,
philosophies?
I started in California, and I worked with chefs who pioneered in the California movement, and that really speaks about farm table, local sourcing, carbon footprint, all those things that most chefs really think about now. So yes, we do try to work with local farmers, local suppliers, try to use as much local fish and seafood, because there's really is an abundance of that. It's just a matter of really marketing it and really putting it into the table and letting the Filipinos enjoy the natural ingredients that we can get from our country.
For our viewers, I'm sure they want to know, what challenges do you face with this kind of level restaurant? I'm not talking about operational challenges, but I'm talking about things that perhaps the government can deal with to help out restaurateurs such as yourself, or even the community, or suppliers perhaps.
Right. Maybe for the farmers, to give them a little bit more of subsidy, so that it helps both the restaurants and the farmers as well. Giving them a platform where they can actually sell directly to the restaurants, not maybe trying to not eliminate, but eliminate the middleman so that, the proceeds go directly to the farmers.
Right.
Just having that collaboration between farmers and the restaurants, whether it's produce or, local piggeries, and I think that's that really. There's a lack of communication and interaction between people that produce the food and those that actually can utilize it for the restaurants.
Nice. What about, I have a few more questions for you. What is your worst investment? And
Worst?
Your worst investment, and don't talk about your husband.
Worst investment. Oh gosh, that's this is embarrassing because I don't really go out anymore. So I used to love luxury bags.
Okay.
Is that one of the? You don't use it? Could be purposed into something else.
I'm sure Chef Sean would say, yay, she's over that. What about your best investment? And yes, you can talk about your husband.
My husband. My best investment is the time that I've decided to stay in the Philippines right now. So, I mean, Oak and Smoke is one of them. It's actually my very first restaurant that I can say I'm part owner.
Yes.
The other places in the States, I worked for them. Like I was a consultant for them, or I was just their executive chef. But now it's my own. So, that's a lot. And it's not just my time now. It's really who I am. Like I'm completely invested in this restaurant, and everything and anything that you see in the restaurant, from the table to the glassware, those are all chosen by me. So that's kind of, it's really who I am. When you come there, hopefully you'll see like a little piece of my personality in the restaurant.
What's your favorite mistake?
My favorite mistake is going to culinary school.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good one.
So, people ask me, should I go to culinary school? Yes or no, right? So it takes a while. I was, a career changer. So I was an industrial engineer. And then I switched careers. And I feel like I should have just started cooking, but then I was like, oh, maybe they won't accept me because I don't have a degree. So
yeah, but guess what? You got your gastronomic happy ending.
Yes, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chef Anna Bautista, and I'm sure to visit Oak and Smoke again.
Thanks, Ferdi.
Thank you so much. And that is it for today's show. I'm Ferdi Salvador. Catch the Bilyonaryo News channel on Free TV channel 31 and on cable via Cignal channel 24. Thank you for watching the Bilyonaryo News channel, always on top.